No audience, no approval, just war. There's a point in your journey where it's just you. No claps, no cameras, no credit. Just that dull silence between you and the grind. And in that silence, most people quit. Because they trained for attention, not for transformation. But not you. Because you know. You don't need a spotlight to become a savage. You need shadows. You need solitude. You need war. This isn't about being seen. It's about becoming someone worth seeing. Welcome back to the grind ritual. Let's vanish and evolve. Part 1. No one cares yet. Nobody sees the early reps. Nobody cheers when you're drenched in sweat at 4 a.m., fighting to do one more. Nobody claps when you're trading parties for practice, trading sleep for progress. Nobody cares that your hands are torn, your mind exhausted, your body begging to stop. And guess what? That's perfect. Because this phase, it's not for them. It's for you. It's where you learn to show up without applause. Where you prove to yourself that your hunger doesn't need witnesses. The world doesn't reward potential. It rewards proof. And proof is built in the hours no one wants to log. The ones where you're alone with your ambition. When quitting feels easier than continuing. When the only voice telling you to keep going is your own. No one's watching. Good. Because you're not doing this to impress. You're doing this to transform. You want to be great. Be willing to suffer in silence. Be the one who shows up when no one's counting. Be the one who lifts when no one's spotting. Be the one who bleeds before anyone's looking. Why? Because this silence, this isolation, it's sacred. It's the forge. And you're becoming steel. Attention feels good. But it's a drug, and most get addicted. They crave views more than victories, clout more than character, and so they perform, loud, flashy, empty. But real growth, real transformation, it doesn't happen when you're being watched. It happens in the dark, when you're lifting while everyone sleeps, running when no one's filming, reading when everyone else scrolls. The silence isn't punishment, it's preparation, because the spotlight is never the starting line, it's the final test. If you only work when you're seen, you'll die when they stop looking. But if you master the silence, the noise will never own you. You build in the shadows so you can dominate in the light. It's time to get ruthless, alone. Train like you're being watched by the only person that matters, your future self. Lift like your legacy depends on it, because it does. No one's watching now, perfect. That means you can mess up, you can fail, you can break and rebuild without fear. No pressure, no audience, just you and the next version of you, waiting for you to catch up. This is the part where most people stop, where silence convinces them they're losing, where they need someone else to validate their sweat. But you're built different. You don't need noise, you don't need eyes, you need grit, fire, discipline. Because soon, when they finally do look your way, you'll be unrecognizable. So if you're ready to become undeniable before they notice, click subscribe. We don't grind for likes. We train in silence. We strike in noise. Let's keep building where they'll never see it coming. Every legend has a chapter where the world forgets their name, where it seems like they vanished. They didn't vanish. They were sharpening. You don't evolve in the limelight. You evolve in the dark. This is the shadow phase, the part where you question everything, where your doubts scream louder than your motivation, where everything feels heavier, mentally, physically, spiritually. Let them think you disappeared. Let them scroll past and never wonder where you went. You're not gone. You're just loading, because this is where the weak quit, where the flashy fall off, where the hype dies, And in that graveyard of attention seekers, the monsters rise, silent, focused, dangerous. Let the world forget you, because when you return, you'll make damn sure they remember. You don't train for attention, you train for legacy. Anyone can put on a show, few can build without one. Your greatness isn't measured by who's clapping. It's measured by who's left standing when the lights go off. You don't grind for now, you grind for forever. For a version of yourself that doesn't flinch under pressure. That doesn't need praise to stay hungry. That doesn't lose purpose just because no one's watching. Because when the moment comes, when the world suddenly decides to pay attention, you'll already be built, not rehearsed, not faking it, not pretending. Built, stone by stone, day by day, alone. So here's the question. If no one ever noticed your grind, would you still do it? Because if the answer's yes, you're already unstoppable. Let the rest train for applause. Let them chase cameras and crumbs of attention. You're building in silence, becoming lethal without a witness, getting so good that when they finally look, they're too late. In the next video, we're flipping the script, stepping into a version of you that doesn't just survive silence, it feeds on it. You ready to rise anyway? See you there. Stay invisible, stay dangerous.